Greetings of the day. In today's video lecture of Business Finance second for sixth semester, we will start with our next topic from Unit 3, that would be the dividend policies. So we will discuss first of all the meaning of dividend policy. You all know what is dividend. Dividend is somewhat the return which we give to our shareholders in return of their in exchange of the risk they have taken by investing their capital in our company. That is what is dividend. So what do dividend policy means? It determines the allocation of earning payable to shareholders and what amount of earnings to be retained with the company. It means that dividend policies find out how much amount of our earnings we are going to distribute as dividend and what would be the amount of earning which we would we would not distribute and keep with us as retained earnings. That is what is dividend policies. For proper meaning, we can say that the policy framed by the management regarding to the distribution of earnings to the shareholder as dividend is known as dividend policy. It is usually concerned with the financial policies regarding paying cash dividend in the present or paying an increased dividend at a later stage of the company. It is a very challenging job for the management, for the directors or for the financial manager of the company, because as an investor everyone have different views on the cash dividend and future gains, and everyone is expecting more and more returns for their investment into the company. Therefore it becomes quite challenging for financial managers as well as management to determine a proper dividend policy for their company. Next would be, what are the factors which affect or which determines the dividend policy? First and very most important factor is what is the availability of divisible profit. That means how much profit or how much earnings do we have for the purpose of giving dividend. This profit or this earning would be after deducting the retained earning which company wants to keep with them for the purpose of certain expansion or any other activity. So we have to first of all determine, or the divisible profit is the factor which affects the dividend policy decisions. As we can see that in the current pandemic situation, companies earnings are affected, hence the dividend policy would naturally be affected. Next is availability of profitable reinvestment opportunity. It means that if suppose we are not going to distribute dividends, what are the available opportunities where we can invest these profitable earnings or invest these earnings so that we can earn more from that. That would be the another thing which would affect the dividend policy. Next is the availability of liquidity with the company. Whatever the amount of earnings the company has, it doesn't have any kind of separate account. For example, if company made sales and out of that sales company made the profit, but this profit is not with the in the form of in separate account, it is not kept. It is in the rotation or in the working capital of the company or in the working cycle of the company. Hence there is the point that whenever we are going to distribute the dividend, it is an expenditure for the company which is not going to give some return, but it is an quite essential expenditure or quite essential to distribute the dividend. That is why first of all we have to assess what is the liquidity position of the company. If liquid funds are not available, then the question is that how we are going to give the cash dividend. If suppose liquidity position is very exact, accurate or tight, at that point of time we are again unable to provide the liquidity for the purpose of dividend. Hence we have to see all these things, or liquidity is an important factor which affect in determining the dividend policy, because without liquidity no one can distribute the dividend. Whenever we heard the news that XYZ company has given this amount of dividend for per share, it means that they are usually giving cash dividend. So there is requirement of liquidity. Then is the inflation. Inflation is the again important parameter or important factor which affects the dividend policy. So inflation is general rise. Inflation can be termed as the tendency of general rise into the prices of the commodities or services. Same thing is happening with the any kind of company. We can see that company either provides service or supplies goods. If there is an inflation like environment in the economy, definitely company would have the inflated priced goods with them, which would what we can say book their profit and hence it is usually advised that in the inflationary environment or circumstances, dividend policy should be carefully followed, and as inflation has an impact because inflated profit can affect the dividend policy, hence inflation is an again determinant factor for dividend policy. Then effect on market price. Remember one thing, the dividend policy has direct impact on the market price of the shares. How we can say that? If suppose there are two companies, company A and company B, company A declares rupees 2 dividend on its shares which are currently valued in the market at rupees 100. Another company which is in the same line of business, for we can take hypothetically its market price is again 100 rupees and it has declared a dividend of rupees 0.5 rupees or 50 paisa per share. So we can see that definitely the company A would have a greater positive impact on the market price, whereas company would have the negative impact because other companies in the same sectors is giving better dividend, therefore its market price would be badly affected or it would not get as much as positive sentiment as the company A would get. That is what how the effect there is an effect of a dividend policy on the market price of the shares. Then there are certain contractual restrictions by financial institutions with regard to maximum ceiling for distribution of dividend. Similar kind of ceilings, similar kind of restrictions are also put for retained earnings. In case of retained earnings, there is minimum amount on the profit to be retained by the company. Therefore, there are contractual restrictions by financial institution. For dividend, maximum ceiling is been provided. For retained earnings, minimum ceiling is been provided. Then another thing is attitude and objective of management. That is, what is the attitude of management towards the distribution of profit, whether they are strictly following the retained earning concept or not. All these kind of things have impact on the dividend policy. Then extent of access to external sources. What are the various external sources to which company can go for the purpose of raising the funds also has an impact on the dividend policy, because if the company can easily access to various sources for raising the funds for any kind of project at 11th hour, it means that company can easily distribute their profit as a dividend, and they do not usually kept worried for the purpose of raising the funds for the purpose of keeping retained earnings. That is the another thing. Then is the stability of dividend. So in the instability of dividend, it means that what is the dividend policy which the company has adopted, what is the stability which a small investor or investors are looking towards the dividend policy of the company. This also has an impact on the dividend policy. Next is the economical situation prevalent into the country. If suppose the economic situation is in the recession, definitely the company would be unable to distribute large profit as a dividend, because they have to keep profit for the purpose of as a part of retained earnings for their own growth and for their own investment or future development purpose. Therefore, economical situation also has an impact on the dividend policy, whereas on the contrary, in the flourishing situation, the company having huge profit can easily give a can easily follow a liberal dividend policy and distribute maximum amount as a dividend to its shareholders. Next would be, what are the different types of dividend which are to be given to the shareholders. So first one is the equity dividend. As the name suggests, equity dividend is usually given to the equity shareholders of the company. When we say about equity dividend, there is no fixed percentage of dividend which the equity shareholders would get. They would get dividend after the preference shareholder, and whatever the profit which is available for distribution of dividend would be distributed to equity shareholder irrespective of to any kind of percentage. Second one is the preference dividend. Preference dividend means the dividend which is been given to the preference shareholder or before giving it to the equity shareholder. preference shareholder, usually preference dividend are given preference dividend on a fixed rate which is been already mentioned to the shareholders. Therefore, they are entitled to that fixed amount of rate. Unlike equity shareholder, they are not entitled to any fluctuating amount of rate of dividend. They are to be paid on fixed rate of dividend. Next is the interim dividend. When company earns huge profit, they can declare dividend before the ending of the financial year. This is usually termed as an interim dividend, which can be given in between the financial year at any point of time by the company if they find fit. Next is the regular dividend. Regular dividend means that dividend which is been given to the shareholders at the end of the financial year or after 31st of March by taking a board meeting. This dividend is usually as we have discussed the prior one, that is interim dividend. It is an optional part whether the company is willing to give interim dividend, whether they earn huge profit or not. But in case of regular dividend, usually company follows the policy of giving regular dividend to its shareholders. Then is the special or extra dividend which is been provided to shareholders when the company earns extra or abnormal profit. That is known as extra dividend. It is being given by the company when they are earning huge profit, irrespective of other things. They are having ample amount of funds for the purpose of distribution to its shareholders at that point of time. Special or extra dividend are being provided to the shareholders. Next is the cash dividend. This is the most popular type of dividend which is being given to the shareholders, in which shareholders are being issued a check or demand draft as suitable or as advised by the notifications of the competent authority, and they are received the check of the dividend amount as per the shares held by them into the company. That is why in the previous segment of this video lecture we have said that we have to assess the liquidity position, or we have to see what is the availability of the liquidity, because in case of cash dividend, which is the most popular type, there is a huge outlay of the cash from the end of the company. This is it for this video lecture regarding to the theory of dividend policy. In the next video lecture, we will see the another part related to the dividend policies theoretical version. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.